Good morning. For the past 4 decades, China has been the world's largest food importer, and American farmers have been some of the biggest exporters to China and enjoyed large surpluses and high farm incomes. That is all changing now. China is increasingly being supplied by Russia and Brazil, and they have mechanized their own agriculture and are hitting records in domestic ag production. This year, they saw over 700 million tons of grains harvested, an increase of over 10 million tons since last year. But the biggest hit to U.S. farmers has been the growing importance of Russia and Brazil. We reported on the giant grain trade that's now happening between Russia and China, with the opening of a new grain corridor that brings low cost Russian grains to China and other countries in Southeast Asia. Brazil's farm exports to China are also booming. And while Russian grain is hurting US and Canadian wheat farmers, Brazil is taking greater share of China's meat imports. Beef consumption is a function of disposable income, and as China's standard of living has risen, so has their demand for beef. China's beef imports were a key profit driver for cattle ranchers in North America, but they've been falling sharply lately. In the first 9 months of 2024, U.S. exports to China are the lowest in 4 years. China's beef imports, however, are still hitting records. It's just not U.S. ranchers who are filling the demand. It's coming from Brazil instead. These pie charts show export and import markets for beef, chicken, and pork. Brazil now exports 3 times as much beef as the United States, and most of that is going to China on the bottom row. U.S. beef production is declining anyway, but China's imports from the U.S. are falling even faster. The U.S. agriculture is being replaced by Brazilian farmers. And these supply chain shifts are causing big problems for farmers at home. American cattle herds are the lowest in 73 years. And across the farm sector in general, 2024 was a record trade deficit in agriculture at about $32 billion. 2025 is forecast to be even worse, with an agricultural trade deficit of over $45 billion. The problem is here, a combination of declining export values and steady increases in imports. The export values are a reflection of commodity prices. American consumers would be surprised to learn that food prices are generally falling across the world. It's not true in US supermarkets, but globally, ag production is easily meeting global demand, so the prices are coming down. All of the macroeconomic factors that previously benefited American and European farmers are going away now. The world population will be peaking in the next several decades, so the long-term demand drivers will slowly go away there. And in many places of the world where we assumed they would be going hungry, like China and in India, they're setting production records instead. So prices are falling for anything our farmers sell to global markets, and more of that business is being done outside of our systems now. It's simply not possible for our farmers to do any forecasting because so much of the global ag trade is being done bilaterally and outside of our financial systems. All the grain that comes from Russia south and from Kazakhstan south and east, everything coming this way from Brazil. These are giant new trade routes, and we don't even know how big it is. But we can tell from prices on our own commodities exchanges that they're big enough to feed Asia. This is Luoping Valley in Hunan province. Be good.
Go with me as I lead my family and my loved ones to salvation, as I show them the knowledge and the gospel of Jesus. I pray for courage and strength to face